I've got to go through some layers, so I'm going to go ahead and use these. Although my favorite are my applique, but these might be better for this situation. So we're going to pin this face down on that line. Let me cut off this little chunky piece right here. I don't want that selvage in there. And you're going to go right to this line, the outermost line, because that's a 1/4 inch above. And then you're going to pin a 1/4 inch. And try not to stretch it as you pin. So we're going to go ahead and just go ahead and lay it down. Make sure it's taut though. What you don't want is you don't want it to be like wavy later on. We're going to do this on both sides. You know what? I'm just going to sew it down because I just don't want it. It's you know, it's thick. It pulls the fabric. I'm going to gently sew it down with a generous 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I think what we'll do is walking foot. We'll do walking foot with, which one should we use? Because this right here is going to be 1/4 inch, and I'm going to take my needle, which would be right here at 3.50. I'm going to move it over here. We want a generous 1/4 inch. Let's just take this to the machine. We're going to sew it down. I am at see if you go right here, that's going to be 3.50. And if you want to move your needle this way, because we want a generous 1/4 inch, I'm going to go down to, I was at 1.75. Let's go to 2.0. That should be generous. And we're going to pop this foot off. We're going to put this foot on. And I'm going to keep the this line right here on my 1/4 inch. And that needle is going to go all the way over. So I do have it on there just for the very beginning. There we go. These are heavier needles. I do not sew through them. I will backstitch. Am I not stepping on the right foot control? What's happening here? Foot down? Foot up? Am I locked up? Hang on. Okay, here we go. And a back stitch. I'm going to pull out this pin because I don't trust it. I am a pin hitter. And I'm just keeping my eye on that line and this edge right here. And I'm just going to lay it down as I go. Just make sure it's lined up. Keep it taut, but don't stretch it. Yeah, I find pinning it would be difficult. And this will just give you a little piece, just a little peak of green. My sewing room goes to the sauna, to the driveway, to the laundry room. It's kind of the epicenter of the house.
I thought that was the kitchen.
I don't think so.
It's the epicenter of your heart, though, right?
I do love my sewing room. I love my sewing room. It is my happy place for sure. Last night, Patrick wanted me to watch, he's watching some show about zombies. How many shows can they make about zombies? Like, I feel like there's so many shows about zombies. But anyways, he was watching that, and is it called The Rest of Me or The Last of Me? And he wanted me to come upstairs, but I wanted to get some stuff done. So then he goes, well, do you want me to watch it with you in the sewing room? I was like, yes! Because I barely have seen Patrick. He has been running around with Mini-Me. He and Mini-Me have just been living it up. His clone. I think this is kind of clever. How it's pieced like right on top of the fabric. Like, I like that. Okay, it's going to come right to here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it now. All right. And this is going to get pressed over like that. Isn't it gorgeous? Looks so good. I'm going to do the next side. We're going to cut off the icky selvage on the very top. Whoop. And again, I wouldn't pin it down. There's just too much going on, right? I forget what this color is, but it's beautiful. Let me see, am I in line? I look like I am. Okay, go ahead and do this whole side. Pull it taut, but not tight. Healthy 1/4 inch. Mine is a healthy 1/4 inch. Again, I'm at 2.0. When I did the other part, I was at 1.75. What's the other part? What was the other part? Oh, when I was stitching my seams together. When I was stitching each panel together. I got to remember that. I'm going to write it down. LR Shift 2.0. I gotta write it down or I will forget. Right? There's my boy, Momo. Take your time. I think it's worth it to just be accurate. Have it look good. And sometimes it's just nice to use something simple like the line on your foot. I could project too if I wanted. And we are almost down to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Trim it right here where the 1/4 inch line is. I do a little back stitch and cut. Next step. Okay, now we're going to use the 2 leftover pieces for the top and the bottom. And before we put on the top and the bottom, we have to go ahead and we're going to press this away. So, and you should be into, it should be into this embroidery. You shouldn't be seeing the outline stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and it wants you to just press it with it on. It does say to use a Teflon sheet, but I'm not going to go ahead and just leave it on my embroidery that long. And the other thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and we'll give it a little quick shot of best press. Oh my God, it looks so good. So good, so good. You look so good. There we go. First we press it open. And let's go ahead. Just give it, while it's warm, a little finger press. I love grunge. I don't know about you, but grunge is like one of my favorite fabric lines in the entire world. And when people don't like it, I totally don't understand. It's just, it's a little natural. It's got depth. Just love everything about it. All right, now we're going to do the other side. Let's go ahead and just press the whole thing because this relaxes it. We're going to relax. Relax. Just relax. We'll do this one and just relax. Okay. Now we'll kind of press it open. Or back a little bit, just a little finger press. Best press. Kaizen, he was working out, babe. These men. There's so many other better things to do than work out. My family's addicted to working out. I'm addicted to potato chips. All right, here we go. Now we're going to put the top and the bottom on, just like we did this. Okay, here we go. So again, we are going to, uh-oh, you know what happened? My Heap-A-Gone line is gone. I forgot. We're going to have to add it back again. Let me grab my little pen and let me add it back. I'll be right back. I was looking at it like, why is my line gone? Didn't I draw it in dark enough? And obviously not. This is left over from before. But guess what? It's going to have selvage in there. So I had one more little strip. I'm going to go ahead and use that. I was trying to conserve. Cut off that selvage. Lay this down. And then you're going to sew it with a healthy 1/4 inch. Uh-oh. Do you see this? I have it. Well, you know how it is. There is grunge. You can use either side of the grunge. Did you know that? It's made to be reversible. Although I have never not used the right side of the grunge, ever. Okay, here we go. One more time. I'm going to trim that a little bit. Let's trim it. Cut. All right. That is going to get pressed back. And now we're going to do the very bottom, which I think as well, I'm going to have to redraw that line. It's looking really cute. And then we're going to put on the border, which is going to be the best part of all. Oh my God, I'm so excited about the border fabric. That is what is going to make this runner, is that border. Okay, here we go. Here we go, here we go. I would say light fingers, light hands, but I'm like clutching for my life right now. Just trying to keep everything together. And let's go ahead and cut this. Oop. Poppy's naughty. I can hear Patrick telling her not to do something. I'm sure she's trying to get a free meal. Okay, now we're going to press this back and then we're going to do our border. Let's relax it. Relax. And then let's press it back. Let's press it back, and I'm going to spray it. Let's do this side. Relax it. And then we're going to press it back and give it a little finger press while it's nice and soft. Okay, ready? Let's do the border. Now it's really important you have cut your border the right way. Is this looking so cute? All right, I'll be right back. All right, this is super, super important, how you cut this fabric to make sure you're going to have enough. Because this fabric is a gradient, do you see how it goes from yellows to pinks to oranges to the periwinkles? Your instructions say that you're going to cut a strip that goes along this way. That's 3.5 inches by 37 inches. So the top pieces, you have two top pieces. Well, one piece here and one piece here. This has to be 4.5 inches by 15 inches. So what that means is you've got 37 inches, and then you need 4.5 here, 4.5 up at the very top. 4.5 plus 4.5 is 9. 9 plus 37 is going to be 46. That's too big for width of fabric. So what we're going to do, and this is really important, is you're going to cut this from up here, so 3.5 inches by 37. And then you're going to go from here 4.5 by 15, or 4.5 by 15. Then you're going to come down here, and this is going to be your other, or you're going to start up here. So you'll have enough here to go 4.5 by 15. And then we cut this long. So now you can start here and you can go 37. And then here 4.5 by 15. So let me show you a little picture of how you're cutting. Okay. This is how you're going to be cutting. It's really important that you do this, because if you don't, you're not going to have enough fabric, and you're going to have a little bit. You're going to have a little here and here and a little here and here, and you might have a little bit this way. We cut it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and cut mine right now, and then you can decide how you're going to do it, but that's how you're going to do it if you want to use the gradient fabric, okay? All right, so I'm going to cut the very top part first. And I'm going to do 4.5 by 15 right here in that creamy white. Four and a half by 15. Here we go. Here's my 15 by 4.5. And you see there's like a little bit right there. Whoop, do I have that? Yes, 4.5 by 15. You're going to be using that middle part too. We're going to use everything. Here's my 4.5. Oh, I've got a butterfly there. That's so cute. Okay. That's my 4.5 by 15. All right. My first piece. Butterfly goes to the left. I'll pull that to the side. Next, I'm going to do this part, and you need this part right here that sticks out. That little part is going to make a difference. I'm going to start from here. I'm going to go down, and I'm going to do 37 inches. So let's see. I'm going to fold my fabric in half to do that. So it's 3.5 by 37. Half of 37 is what? 18.5. We want 18.5. And then this part over here, you're going to measure from here over. We want this middle part. That's going to be our binding. Okay, 18.5 is my ruler. 18, 36, 37. Perfect. And we're going to go over 3.5 inches. And make sure you're right on that fold so you don't get a weird elbow. And go over to the edge as much as you can, because you're going to use that inside for your binding strips. Here we go. $18.5 by 3.5. Oops. Is there a thread I didn't get? Okay. I don't know where it didn't catch. I'm going to go 3.5 inches on this too. Clean it up. Here we go. Okay. So what we did is we took the top off and we went over 4.5 by 15. Now we just went down the bottom. We did 3.5 by 37. Now this part, we're going to start from this edge. Don't start from here because you're going to need this. You need most of that. So we're going to start here. We're going to do 4.5 by 15. We're going to stop right here because we need this very bottom part, okay? Start here. I'm going to flip it, but I'm starting here from that edge. All right. We want 4.5 by 15. This is going to be the other side. 4.5 by 15. Just remember, the butterfly goes towards the outside edge. Now we're going to do one more cut. It's going to go the length. And because we're doing it like this, you get that 37 inches. Okay? You've got to do it like that. If you don't, you're not going to have enough fabric along the outside edge. Whoops! I'm just going to fold this over because I know that this is the outside edge that I want. We already did that one. And it's going to be 3.5 inches by 18.5. So here is my 3.5, and I'll get this right on the line. So I don't have an elbow. And we're going to use this inside part too. That is going to be your binding strips. Okay. I do want to clean this up on this side. 3.5. Okay. There's my 3.5. And last but not least, we're going to use this inside part right here to do our binding. All right. So let's go ahead. The instructions say 2.25 by 3 width of fabric. Ours is going to be 9 inches off from width of fabric. So I want you to do 3. Why don't we go ahead and we will do, we'll do 4 just to be sure because we have enough fabric. Let's take this off too. We're going to get rid of all of these little itty bitty bits. I like toiled over this, trying to go, how are we going to make this work without having to give them such huge pieces of fabric? Because we don't have, I'm rationing it, because we just don't have that much of it. These are going to be your binding strips. This is the very center. And we want 2.25 1/4. 2 1/4, 2 1/4. We're going to cut from the fold. We're going to cut from the fold. Okay, here's my fold down here. We want 2 1/4. I'm a 2 1/4 kind of binding girl. Anyways, if you like 2 1/2, I want you to do a 2 1/2. And you need to make sure you're on that line, even if it means that we're going to square it up and fix that one end. Okay. There's one, because I had to clean up that edge. Now I'm just going to cut these 2 1/4. These should be perfect. Make sure you're on that edge so you don't get a little elbow. That's the worst. Two and a quarter. We're going to cut 4 again because we had to take 9 inches off, so we have to compensate for that. Hopefully it's not going to be more than that. This is 3. This is 4. I have to measure. All right, here are my binding strips. All right, we have our outside. Let's throw this away. So it's going to look like this. Butterfly, butterfly is the outside. This is the other butterfly. That is the outside. This will be one side like this. And this will be one side like this. And that is what it is going to look like.
Dinner.
All right, so let's go ahead now that you have that cut. And it doesn't go perfectly, but that is going to be the best you can get it with that piece, and it looks pretty darn good. So let's go ahead and sew that on next. Okay, so the directions want you to pin and then stitch from the back side 1/4 inch from that dark. Remember, we put in that dark thread. But what worries me is that I can't see it. Like, I can't see it, and I want to be able to see it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch it on from the front just because I need to be able to see it, and I'm going to go ahead and lay it down like this. For me, I really love the blues, and so I want that to be the focal point, and I'm just going to line this up on the side and do another healthy 1/4 inch. Or it doesn't have to be quite so healthy. So let's just go back to a normal 1/4 inch. Before I wanted a chunkier 1/4 inch because I wanted to make sure that we encased that that we were sewing into the embroidered squares. So I'm going to go ahead and line this up. I am not pinning. No pinning for me. I did press, and now we're going to go ahead And we'll sew from right there. And I think this will come all the way down and we will be good to go. Okay, and we're going to have to cut off a little bit. But let's line that up right here. And here we go. I am going to do this with my 1/4 inch foot. Let's pop this off. And I know it has a flange, but it's going to ride on the fabric. I'm okay with that. Some people don't like a flange on top of the fabric, but we are okay with that. Okay, so no longer am I doing I'm stitching at 3.5, which is just a center straight stitch. Whoop! What just happened there? Foot was up. Hang on. Let me fix that. Because it was going crazy, wasn't it? When I can have a physical flange, that is when I'm happiest. I'm happiest when I have a physical flange. I should be going to bed right now, but I can't because I'm so excited. I'm so excited about finishing this. Okay, we're going to sew down the other side, but is this cute or what? Yes, it is. Let's go ahead and sew down the other side now. And I just think this is easier. I think the other way it's hard to see. You don't know if it fabric shifts. Pins don't want to stay where you want them to stay. I'm going to do the pink end here and the white at the bottom, but I really want that white to be showing as much as possible. So I don't want that to get cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this down. And then we'll just smooth it going up. And then we'll put the top and the bottom on. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. I don't want to lose that. I love the white and the yellow flowers. So let's go ahead and sew it down. All right, we're going to heat up our iron and we're going to press this. And then we're going to put the top and the bottom on. So we'll press it to relax it. And then we'll fold it over. That was a little bit short, but it's okay. Oh, it looks so cute. I love it. With these colors down here. So adorable. Okay, let's relax the seam. Relax it. It's a little short there, but we'll make it do. We'll make do. Wait, I gotta cut that edge off, huh? I'll do this side. You know what we haven't done yet? The dimensional flowers. When does that happen? Did I miss that? Okay. For me, it was just way easier to just sew it on from the front side. I think my results would have been worse if I had sewn it from the other side. So this to me looks... But everything was pretty lined up beforehand. You got to make sure that everything's squared before. Otherwise, you're going to have bad results, right? I gotta trim this. We gotta trim that. Where are my scissors? Where are my scissors at? There we go. Oh my God. It looks so cute. Super Bloom, you complete me. It's not perfect, but that's okay. I just feel like pinning through all those layers. That would have just been so difficult. Oop. Gorgeous. Spring is in the air. Does that bother you that I did all of those the same color and then I change it down there? So, okay, we're going to put on the tops and the bottom. So this has the white on it. So that is the white top. And this side over here has the blue on it. So this is the blue top. And let's go ahead and sew that down. I'm sorry, it's unbelievable. It's so cute. All right, let's go back to the machine. Okay, here we go. So butterfly, flip it over. I don't know if yours will have a butterfly, but I think it will. Ooh. Hopefully I get it. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh my God. It's gorgeous. Let's do the other side. You know when you just have a project and you're like, and it's so pretty and it just makes you so happy? That is how I feel about this. So now I need the butterfly, which is going to be up. So just flip it over, right sides together. And I know it's not totally lined up, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to make it work. Oh, my thing got stuck. All right, fold it back. Oh, it is so cute. Let's go press. Okay, we're going to relax it first. First, we want it to relax. And then we're going to pull it back. One of my favorite projects ever. We're going to be trimming it, so don't worry, that doesn't go all the way up. And let's do the other side. Let's relax it first. We're going to fold it back. And we're going to press it. I love the butterflies. You know what I should have done is I should have cut it a little bit further so that the butterflies, like, he doesn't get put in the binding. Do you know what I mean? Because he's going to be in the binding a little bit. All right. What do you think? So this is one end. Spring is in the end. I wanted my letters to change as I went down. This side, I changed some more. Spring is in the air. Let's flip that around. Isn't that fun? Because the periwinkle to the purple to the pinks, the reds, and the oranges. And then maybe I should have changed this more, but it still looks super sweet to me. I absolutely love it. Only thing we have left to do is we're going to layer. I say layer, quilt, and then bind. And then this one's almost done, but I can at least bring it in to the store and show you guys because it is spectacular. All right. I will see you for the next step. Layer, quilt, and bind. Bye.